Okay, I keep getting asked, especially after doing a review of Green Lantern, what I thought of X-Men First Class. A lot of people kind of want to know, so I'll just put this in here. Um, my question is, which one? And that's kind of like my overall critique of the movie. It's it is incredibly schizophrenic. I felt like I got two movies for the price of one. And I'm not complaining about that. In fact, that's part of what I love about it, and it's also a huge component of what I hate about it. So even then, we're dealing with the question of like what part of this movie. To break it down for you, there is this really awesome movie in there about Xavier and Magneto. A beautiful, beautiful movie there about Xavier and Magneto, especially on the Magneto side, where you essentially get to see what my buddy Trev called Eric Lencher Nazi Hunter. And he kind of put that tweet out that, movies I'd rather be watching, Eric Lencher Nazi Hunter. And when I saw it, I got exactly what he meant by that. The Eric Lencher stuff, especially at the beginning, is pitch perfect, beautiful, and I really have to tip my hat to whoever the actor was. I completely forget his name. Whoever did Xavier did a bang up job too, and I really like how they stuck to the core. Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm X kind of butting heads for most of the movie. They kind of blew that to hell at the end, but I like how they did that, and I like how, for the most part, they handled Magneto. So there was a really great movie there. Then there is this really shitty Bond knockoff, Cold War Bond knockoff, with mutants. And that's essentially the movie that Kevin Bacon and January Jones occupy. And I love Kevin Bacon. I really do love Kevin Bacon. And I thought that he was okay, especially given the writing of the part. January Jones, though, sucks the energy out of pretty much every scene that she's in. She is hands down the worst thing about the X-Men series. Yeah. Yeah, I would be prepared to defend that January Jones's, 30 minutes of screen time is worse than X3 Wolverine Origins and what they did to Deadpool. And yeah, and Halle Berry. She is worse than all of those combined. She really just sucks the energy out of it. So we have, once again, this incredibly serious, good movie with Xavier and Magneto that's playing up the Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm X kind of butting heads tension, and I love it, and I love Magneto. I identify myself most with Magneto, so obviously, that's a huge component of what I was going for. And I kind of felt cheated a little bit at the end, but for the most part, I was incredibly satisfied with that. And then there's this really shitty wannabe Bond movie with mutants that has Kevin Bacon as the villain that made me want to shoot myself in the foot. And occasionally, these two movies, the really good character-driven drama and the insane bullshit Bond movie, will come together, and you get what I essentially call tonal chaos, where the movie just really doesn't know what it wants to be. In those moments, because they'll be dealing with some things kind of seriously, but other things are just too goddamn ridiculous in there. I feel like I can freely use the word camp Anytime that the villains are involved in X-Men First Class, the word camp easily applies. And every single time that they went inside of the submarine, this is another thing with the art director and DOP. Every time they went into Shaw's submarine, I really did feel like I was watching a different movie, because the lighting did not match the rest of the movie, the blocking did not match the rest of the movie, and the set design did not match the rest of the movie. And you essentially have Kevin Bacon doing a bang up job, January Jones sucking the life out of everything around her, and whoever the fuck was playing Azazel mugging all the fucking time. So yeah, X-Men First Class, it's the tale of two movies, and sometimes they collide. I feel like I got my money's worth seeing two movies for the price of one, and I really, really liked one of those movies. There is a moment at the end where Magneto basically says to Shaw. Shaw lays out this whole thing like, we're gonna destroy the human race because mutants are better, and almost out of nowhere, Magneto being the defender of mutants, suddenly says like, I agree, but I have to kill you anyway. And it's just so out of place, it's so clunky. I get that Magneto, for most of the comic continuity, is a bit of a mutant supremacist, but in terms of the continuity of the comics, it's pretty easy to see why. But in the movie, it just kind of felt like we spent all this time building up and following and establishing this character, and the writers just kind of wanted to shove him off a cliff, and I rejected that very, very harshly. But other than that, I recommend it, if for no other reason than you are essentially getting two movies for the price of one. So X-Men First Class, that's that in a nutshell. Not a whole great deal to rant on. Just incredibly schizophrenic movie. Peace.